Ever expect to hear the word tanks, idle RPG, and blockchain in the same sentence? Well, me neither. But somehow, those words have managed to combine and create a play-to-earn game for both tanks and idle game lovers, with a hugely talented team behind it. I'm Kenny from GameFi Army, and for today's episode of Project Review, let's take a deep look into a new play-to-earn strategy game where you join epic battles, destroy enemies with your tanks, and earn real money. Tank Battle. Tank Battle is a war-themed NFT strategy game developed by a subsidiary game studio of Gosu Corp and backed with a blockchain technology by aka Chain. It is designed with a completely new style and a variety of game modes such as PvE, PvP, Alliance War, and Tournament mode. Strategic thinking is a must. You have to smartly arrange your squad and assign missions to your alliances in order to protect your territory from enemy attacks and thus secure your resources and incomes. Moving on to the visual and graphics department, there isn't really much to talk about here. From the demo of the game to the promotional clips, I find the animation isn't very visually striking. It looks very plain and simple, and there are hardly any special effects. The animators did their minimal jobs, but it ends there. The designs of the tanks are on the brighter side, with some tanks being relatively exotic and interesting, and according to the developers, they took inspiration from real-life tank models. But in my opinion, most of them still lack creative and uniqueness, so they should work a bit on improving and polishing the overall animation and design to attract more players. Although graphics are not the strongest point of Tank Battle, the game exhibits many fun features, interesting mechanics, and a balanced and diverse system for players to compensate for its other weaknesses. Let's first take a look at the tanks themselves, the focal point of the game. There are a total of 6 classes of tanks, each with unique characteristics, and all of them are more or less based on real-life tank models. There is a light tank, medium tank, heavy tanks, self-propelled gun, support tank, and finally the tank destroyer. To build a tank, players must first collect enough 4 models, including track, engine, chassis, and a turret, which are tradable NFTs from the marketplace. In order to get tank models, players can either buy directly from the marketplace, purchase loose boxes, or use gems to get one. Aside from collecting and assembling, players can also upgrade their own tanks with just EXP points earned from battle, without the need of any coin or token. After these tough and hard-fought battles, bring your tanks to the garage to repair broken damage, restore durability points, and prepare for the next battle. Are you familiar with the tanks and their features yet? Great, because it's time to take them to the battlefield. Much like other games the same idle RPG kind, there will be loads of game modes for players to participate in. In Tanks Battle case, there will be a total of 4: PvE, PvP, Alliance War, and Tournament. Let's start with the most we are most familiar with, PvE and PvP. Staying true to the idle RPG format, in PvE you will arrange and position a team of 3 to 5 tanks to battle bosses and opponents on 10 different maps with varying difficulty levels. Players will see the opponents line up before the match so they can arrange their squad and devise a strategy to increase their chances of winning. They will receive gold and gems corresponding to the mission level, even if they lose the battle. PvP mode is about the same as PvE, except you will fight real players and receive rewards based on rankings. The top 100 and 500 on the wiki leaderboard will receive gold and gems. Moving on, let's now focus on the 2 much more interesting ones. First, let's take a look at Tanks Battle Tournament mode. They're just typical tournament you see in every other game, so I won't dive too deeply into this. But from this, players will have a chance to win super rare NFTs, so it's a good chance to try to win a fortune. And finally, I saved the best mode for last, Alliance War. Alliance War is essentially a guild mode, but with a twist. Remember the 10 maps for the PvE mode? Well, in Alliance War, you can actually own these maps, which will be called territory, where players can collect tax fees and a percentage share from the total rewards. Players in an alliance will fight to defend their territory, as well as take it from other alliances. With this feature, the Alliance War won't just be a side feature like a normal guild, but instead will play a crucial part in a general gameplay with its high-stake, high-reward system and building a strong community with a democratic system. I would love to talk more about the gameplay. We're not just gamers, we are also investors, so the tokenomics is crucial to know too. Tank Battle tokenomics is quite interesting, with it having 3 tokens in total, the main token TPL and the 2 side currency Gold and Gem. TPL is the governance token of the game, and it can be used for staking, farming, trading, and buying NFTs. Gold, on the other hand, is an in-game currency used for almost every in-game feature, from purchasing bosses to creating alliances, as well as exchanging to TPL tokens. Players can get gold by participating in game modes such as PvE, PvP, alliances, and farming. Finally, there is Gem, which aids players in FT production. Players can obtain gems through farming and weekly ranking rewards. Once they get 100 gems, they can craft a gem box, which contains a tank model, a complete tank, or a lucky stone, a super rare NFT item with a 100 chance of creating tanks with mythic or legendary rarity. Here's the token allocation of Tank Battle, and the game will be released in February or March according to the roadmap. Tank Battle will be released in all platforms including PC, Android, and iOS in just the second quarter of 2022. It's fairly early compared to other games, and the IDO is going to be in January, so make sure to stay updated for more information about the game. So, that's all you need to know about the in-game features, the tokenomics, and the gameplay. But with each game, there's always a team of developers behind it, and Tank Battle has one impressive team. As I have said before, Tank Battle is a product developed by a subsidiary of Gosu Corp and backed with a blockchain technology by AKA Chain. Gosu Corp is a young and ambitious gaming studio in Vietnam, with many well-received game products, and AKA Chain is a blockchain for business platform backed by FPT, one of the most largest telecom companies in Vietnam. AKA Chain is well known and received by multiple big customers like Think Power, Masan Group, IIA, VP Bank, and many other enterprises listed in the Fortune Global 500. On an additional note, the CTO of Tank Battle is even in the Forbes Technology Council. No doubt, this project has a very talented team, so I think they will definitely deliver what they promise. The community has decent numbers, with Twitter having 51,000 followers and Telegram having 65,000 followers. Although the mods are quite active, the followers seem to discuss only about the token, the IDO, and the airdrops, but there's rarely discussion about the gameplay itself. In conclusion, let's summarize all the things we have talked about. The graphics need a little bit more polishing. The tanks, quite diverse, but not so distinctive. The gameplay, there are some pretty unique and interesting bits. The team is very impressive. So overall, I think that although this game isn't the first of its kind or tremendously unique, it does have a lot solid team behind it. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt to say that it is a relatively safe project to invest in. Hopefully they will work on their weak points and improve further, becoming more fun and entertaining over time. That's all there is for today. Remember to hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another episode of Game Review.